Welcome to the webinar. The focus of this webinar will be to provide details and instructions relevant to the fiscal year 2024 National Aquaculture Initiative competition. This is the enhancing production of coastal, marine, and Great Lakes aquaculture species, a competition through NOAA Sea Grant.
Just as an overview to get things rolling, the National Sea Grant College Program was established by Congress in 1966 and works to create and maintain a healthy coastal environment and economy. Our mission is to enhance the practical use and conservation of coastal, marine, and Great Lakes resources in order to create a sustainable economy and environment.
For those not familiar with Sea Grant, there's 34 Sea Grant programs. It's a federal university collaboration or partnership. The 34 programs are located in each Great Lakes state, as well as each coastal state of the U.S., Alaska, Hawaii, and other territories. Sea Grant employs approximately over 2,800 people, and we focus on research, education, extension.
Our overall portfolio of activities is divided into these 4 focus areas: healthy coastal ecosystems, resilient communities and economies, environmental literacy and workforce development, and sustainable fisheries and aquaculture.
As per funding towards aquaculture, Sea Grant has a long history. Since 1966, Sea Grant has invested in the development of sustainable marine, coastal, and Great Lakes aquaculture to help coastal communities maintain a safe and sustainable local seafood supply. NOAA Sea Grant has recently developed a 5-year investment plan. We'll focus on one of these offerings today, that is the National Aquaculture Initiative focused on aquaculture production. There will be, in coming years, there'll be competitions on business support relative to aquaculture. The state aquaculture supplemental, that's a funding mechanism where additional monies are provided towards aquaculture to Sea Grant programs throughout the U.S. Also, technology and education travel grants, an aquaculture internships program. Aquaculture collaboratives will also be a recurring competition, as well as legal issues.
So for this year's competition, titled Enhancing Production of Coastal, Marine, and Great Lakes Aquaculture Species, this one is consistent with Sea Grant's national focus area of sustainable fisheries and aquaculture, as well as the Sea Grant Network's 10-year aquaculture vision and the NOAA and Department of Commerce aquaculture goals. It builds upon NOAA's investments in extramural aquaculture research through Sea Grant, as well as the National Marine Fisheries Service competitions through the Fisheries Commissions, as well as the Salt and Stall Kennedy Grant competition, and also the NOAA Small Business and Innovation Research Grants. As a note, all projects awarded from this competition must take place within the United States or territories or their respective waterways.
So what we'll be covering today, as per this competition, we'll go over available funding and project period, program objectives, program priorities, eligibility information, submission information, and also we'll provide additional information, including contacts.
So regarding the available funding and project period, we anticipate between $5 and $6 million in fiscal 24 federal funds to be available for the funding of approximately 4 to 12 projects with a duration of up to 3 years in the following categories. So 2 separate tiers of funding available this time. For proposals up to $250,000, those proposals can be submitted by individual entities, for example, a single individual or group or institution. And these would be for research projects that address 1 or more topics relevant to the program priorities that we'll get into shortly. The larger tier, the next tier of funding, is up to $1.2 million in federal funds. Those projects have to be collaborative, multi-partner efforts addressing the same program priorities. Projects will be expected to start on September 1st of 2024 and be completed by August 31st of 2027.
Regarding program objectives, this competition focuses on enhancing research and programs that will develop and refine methods, protocols, techniques, and/or strategies to enhance the production of one or more life stages of aquaculture species. The overall goal of this competition is to enhance the production of aquaculture species to improve the efficiency, output, and profitability of commercial, coastal, marine, and Great Lakes regional aquaculture businesses. Regarding strong applications, they will address program priorities that we'll get into below, and will integrate research and extension. Projects should support broad, non-proprietary research to address critical issues and our barriers with respect to the production of aquaculture species. Projects should make that information available to U.S. aquaculture businesses, and preferably include participation and involvement of Sea Grant extension personnel and industry stakeholders.
So now getting into the specific program priorities, projects that focus on one or more life stages of the following aquaculture categories and organisms in both marine and freshwater are eligible for this competition. And they include microalgae and macroalgae, so seaweeds, mollusks, crustaceans, ornamentals, baitfish, finfish species for food production, as well as miscellaneous invertebrates. Proposals that focus on addressing production challenges of species that are currently being produced or have a good potential for commercialization in coastal, marine, or Great Lakes region environments are preferred.
As per topical areas for this competition, proposals may address one or more of these areas of research, including reproduction and/or selective breeding, genetics, larviculture and early development, nursery production, on-growing, disease and health management, nutrition, physiology, also production systems, engineering and automation, and production methods, strategies, and technologies.
Successful proposals will demonstrate a clear understanding of current limitations and research needs regarding the production of eligible species. They will increase the knowledge base of various aspects of enhancing the production of aquaculture species with the overall goal of improving the efficiency, output, and profitability of commercial, coastal, marine, and Great Lakes region aquaculture businesses. They will also involve Sea Grant extension personnel and relevant activities. For example, education, outreach, transfer of technology and results, in order to build on past research and inform industry stakeholders and others involved in U.S. aquaculture, including including funding, federal or match as appropriate.
Successful proposals will also involve industry participation and engagement with and support of investigators and our students through partnerships with minority serving institutions. That's encouraged, and also engagement of underserved audiences and communities is encouraged as well.
Regarding eligibility information, the following entities are eligible and encouraged to participate in this funding opportunity: any individual, any public or private corporation, partnership, or association or entity, including any Sea Grant College, Sea Grant Institute, or other institution, as well as any state, political subdivision of a state, tribal government or agency or officer thereof. Federal agencies and their personnel are not permitted to receive federal funding under this competition. However, federal scientists and other employees can serve as uncompensated partners or co-principal investigators on applications.
Federal labs and offices can also make available specialized expertise, facilities, or equipment to applicants, but they cannot be compensated under this competition for their use, nor can the value of such assets be used as match. Regarding match, non-federal matching funds equal to at least 50% of the federal funding request must be provided unless a waiver justified by statute is granted. It's important to note the cumulative match at the end of each year of funding of the grant must not fall below 50% of the cumulative federal request up to that point. As per match, in-kind contributions directly supporting this application may count toward the matching requirement.
Getting into the details around submission information, this competition will require submission of letters of intent. These LOIs will allow the National Sea Grant Office to gauge interest and topics that may be submitted. While these LOIs are required, they will not be used to decide whether or not a full proposal should be encouraged. All applicants submitting a letter of intent will be eligible to submit a full proposal. The letters of intent to this competition must be received via electronic mail by the National Sea Grant Office, whose email address is located here, by 5 p.m. local time of the lead submitting entity on January 17th, 2024.
Regarding full proposal applications, applications must be submitted to grants.gov by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on April 3rd, 2024. It's important to note the National Sea Grant Office staff, we will only be able to answer questions until 5 p.m. EDT of that day. Validation or rejection of an application by grants.gov may take up to 2 business days after submission. Application packages are available online and can be downloaded from grants.gov under Opportunity NOAA-OAR-SG-2024-24677. It's important to note that the grants.gov link to that competition will provide a number of details regarding submission of LOIs and also full proposals as well.
Applications that are missing required elements listed or applications coming from ineligible applicants may be rejected without further review. Applicants must redact all personally identifiable information in their application materials prior to final submission to grants.gov. Any PII that must be redacted from the application includes social security numbers, dates of birth, student ID numbers, or other information which, if lost, compromised, or disclosed without authorization, could result in harm, embarrassment, inconvenience, or unfairness to an individual. Applicants may contact the competition managers to confirm receipt of required application elements prior to the grants.gov deadline.
And as per context, you can contact myself, Chuck Wyrick, or Mark Rath. We're the National Sea Grant Office Aquaculture Managers at our email that's listed there, the competition inbox, with any questions that you may have about applying for this opportunity. Any details at all, we'll be happy to chat with folks and provide answers to questions. Thank you.